crystal with pineapple papers, and we are on day 8, which is the 3rd row down of my Killing the Bingo card challenge. So today is another slightly challenging one for me because it involves stamps. I have a feeling that I kind of think that stamps are my nemesis, even though I love them. So I'm going to try something different versus just stamping on the background. So we'll see how that works out. So the first square is colored cardstock. And this is the colored cardstock that I picked. It is gray. I believe that is a color. So let me know in the comments below if you agree. Gray is a color, gray is not a color. Does it count? Does it not count? Let me know. Just curious. And then the second one is flowers. So digging more into my stash, I have these fabric fancies. They're like silvery kind of fabric flowers. I think I bought them at Michael's. And then the next one is stamps. So I only picked 2 this time. I have this Amy Tangerine stamp, and I think I'm going to use the feather, and I think I'm going to pull out some of those rub-on gold feathers that I did in a previous layout and see if I can work those together. And then I pulled this Heidi swap set because this is kind of a cute ticket. So I thought maybe I would stamp it and cut it out and use it as ephemera. Then the next one is tags. Now this is where I'm getting a little fun. So these are 4 tags I got from a clothing company here in town called Clothes Hound. My sister-in-law's sister-in-law, if you can figure that out, has a clothing store in our downtown, and my husband got me a bunch of clothes a couple Christmases ago with that, and they're so cute. They're just a manila tag, but then they have these like swatches of fabric tags. So I thought, oh, those are fun. I'm going to try and use those. So these are going to be my tags. And then the last thing is die cuts or ephemera. So with these fabric tags, it doesn't really go well with the, I mean, this piece might work with the collection I've been working with, which is Simple Stories Posh. And I'm running super low on paper. And I have this 6x6 pad of the C'est La Vie, which would go with the ephemera. So this is kind of my plan. So I'm kind of excited, except for this part. So let's see what happens. Okay, so these are the 2 pictures I'm going to be using, and they are from the view of our hotel room. So I thought I'd do something a little bit different with the stamps. So I have done several stamps. I did the heart, the ticket, and the feather. And I did one stamp and then without inking do another stamp so that I had a black one and then a gray one. And then I just fussy cut those out and had them over to the side to see how I wanted to use them more as ephemera. I wasn't quite as brave with this challenge to actually cut or to actually stamp right on my page. So I've decided that those fabric tags are going to go on the back. And I got rid of the manila ones. I didn't like how the manila looked with the gray. I'm a little weird with black and brown together sometimes. So this would be one of those times. Now I'm going to do some paper layers around both of the pictures. And I wanted them to be the same, but because I'm using a 6x6 pad, there's just not enough paper to mat them completely. So basically I'm going to use all of the same papers, but it's not going to be in the same pattern, which I think actually looks better in the end. Now that pink piece of paper is totally just a scrap, and I wanted to pull that in just for the fact that that one fabric tag in the back is red. So I wanted to pull that in so it didn't feel like it was completely out. And same with the yellow. So everything else is pretty neutral that I'm using. So this hotel room was so nice. But the funny thing was, when we actually showed up and they gave us our room, we walked in our room and it smelled like smoke, like somebody had been smoking in there. And neither of us smoke and can't stand the smell. And it was a non-smoking room. So we went and asked, we opened up all the windows. We went and asked them if they have some sort of like, I don't know, something to put in the room to make it not smell like smoke. And so they tried that, and they said that if we still weren't satisfied when we came back from lunch, that they would give us a new room. So they had tried something and it didn't smell any better. So they ended up giving us another room. Well, they ended up giving us an upgraded room. So it was a beautiful corner room and huge big windows. And you could just lay in bed and open them up and see the city. It was really cool. So we snapped a few pictures, and one's from one window and the other one's from like the left window. So I wanted to kind of put them in order so that they so it's kind of panoramic, but with not a panoramic picture. So here I'm just going to add some of the embellishments, and I'm going to layer the rub-on feathers with the stamped feathers. I'm going to add a ticket, and that banner in either color doesn't make it. And then that stamped heart will also end up on the page a little bit lower. So I love using items from different collections, but then it is very nice to have some ephemera to match some of your papers. So in this case, that little frame was actually the same paper that I had matted the pictures in, and so it just looked funny to me. So I went ahead and grabbed this separate frame. Now, these flowers are super old, and I wasn't quite sure how I was going to incorporate them. I didn't like the really shiny ones. I liked the ones that were just kind of like tulle. So those are the ones that I used. And they didn't want to stick down with the glue that I was using. So I just grabbed my stapler, popped a few staples in there, and then I didn't make you watch me put on the title, but title's going to be A Room with a View. And I'm pulling some of the stickers from the sticker sheet of the Posh collection just because our entire trip has pretty much used this Simple Stories Posh collection, and I felt like it needed to have just a little bit of piece of that so it all kind of coordinates. So that's it, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this process, and then you think next time you buy that piece of clothing and look at that tag that maybe you can use it on a scrapbook page. So remember to wear your crown. Bye!